But thank you for being here. Really, thank you. You know why we're here for celebrating. Jimmy, just so you know, it's 15-year cancer anniversary, and just as a heads up, and yeah, that part we got. And also for launching a book coming out the end of November, beginning of December, Living Cancer Free. So this is my 15-year cancer-free day, which is really a weird day when you finish your chemo treatments and therapy in general. You don't really know what the official like cancer-free day is. So I'm just saying it's the last treatment that I had, that they were like, you are done, you can go, and that's kind of when I chose to do the anniversary. So, yeah. I celebrate it as a way of celebrating with everyone else. If you follow me on Instagram especially, and I'm terrible at Facebook, I'm really not that great, but I'm trying to get better as I'm doing more book promo and marketing. Yeah! Warrior spirit. I'll be handing out tattoos after, okay? It's something that I like to share with everyone else, because it's yes, I'm glad to be where I am today, but it's also a reminder and an inspiration that we each have this gift of life. So that's part of my mission for life, is to share and inspire others, that I want you to feel that too, which I know many of you do. So on that note, time is energy and energy is currency. And time really is the most valuable thing you have. So I thank you for being here. That is part of the manifesto, which when you read my book, you will see that as part of it in there. Let me stay with this side is like getting teary-eyed already, so I'm gonna stop looking on this side over here. It is said that there are 1 in 3 women will be diagnosed with cancer. And I saw this sign that was in Bradley Airport. They had a big sign on the side of the wall when I was walking through after the gates. And at the same time, I passed by 3 other women. And I was like, holy shit, I'm that 1 out of the 3, if not 4. And so in a lot of ways, cancer seems something that it's up here, but it affects all of us in some way, some form, somehow. So how we're all interconnected, whether we are aware of it or we're not. That being said, with women, it is also 1 in 4 people, humans, that are affected or diagnosed with cancer. So you think 25%, 25%, and that number is growing each and every year. 5 to 10%, and then this will be the last statistic that I'm going to throw at your way, but 5 to 10% of cancer cases are caused by genetics. That's a small number. The awesome part of that is we have control over that 90 to 95% of changing our lifestyle, changing our environment to be something that is healthier for us. We have that choice. That's really what living free is, and this book is about, is it's taking action and responsibility for the cancers that we're allowing into our life. And I'll read a part of it that I'm gonna share with you, pre-release. And it's sharing what cancers are. And it discusses cancer, yes, it's a disease and it's a physical disease, but it's so much more than that. It was how I was treating my body and the thoughts that I was giving to myself, which Audrey very blatantly points out at a young age, and she was so spot on. I had terrible connection in visualization of what my body was, and you were so spot on, intuitively, at like 14. And I was in, I won't say the wrong marriage, but I wasn't in a marriage that was right for me. I was in a location and expectations that I put on myself that weren't letting me thrive and grow. Those were all cancers in a way that I allowed into my life. And the book shares in 3 different parts. Part 1 is before getting cancer and my life leading up to that. So the eating disorder, my struggles with alcohol, and then after the cancer diagnosis. And then the second part of the book is called the AD, after cancer's death, which is after I was diagnosed with cancer and what happened after that, which, as you know, then it ends with a special part, which I'll leave that up in chapter 8 for you to read. So we all have these choices in our lives that we can choose for how we want to live it, what cancers we want to allow into our lives, what cancers we want to say, no, what I don't want to, I want to choose something better and for myself. So on that note, knowing that we can control 90 to 95% of those cancers that we allow into us. and taking that choice each and every day. So in 2003, January 2003, what a day. And my mom's like, go, get this big giant lump in your neck checked out finally. So I go to Dr. Howe and she's like, hello, Sara. And she checks my neck out and everything, my brother's eyes. And immediately I was sent to the hospital. I remember, Dad, you took me, we had CAT scan?
Yeah.
Now it's my turn. Here's where we take a breath. All in that one day, and it was a CAT scan and biopsy. And it was just that one day where your life turns. And then getting the diagnosis. And at the time it was like, why the fuck is this happening? But now looking back, I wouldn't change it for anything. I wouldn't change it for anything, any part of my life, any part of it, because really, each part leading up has led me to where I am today. And holy shit, do I really love my life and where I am today, and for every struggle, every fight, every battle. Because it lets me be free every single day to know that I'm choosing this. And if I can give anybody who's reading this book, and all of you who are here and feeling this and seeing this too, always know that you have those choices in your life, and to wake up with that excitement, to live and to do exactly what you want, to share that with people you want to be around, to take jobs that you're passionate for, and to really allow yourself to let that express in each part of your life, that we can choose all of this. We have a choice. So I will read you before I become any mushier, because this is really not Sarah's style, but maybe it's a part of being back in Connecticut. I don't know. We can blame it on the cold for sure. So as I read to you chapter 1, which is the intro, and it's titled, What is a Cancer? So it'll be available on softcover, ebook, and all of the above. Cancer, something evil or malignant that spreads destructively, by Merriam-Webster's dictionary. Cold. Hospital rooms are always so cold. It's like the freshest reminder that death is coming for you. A reminder that it's here, just lurking around the corner, like an overbearing mother listening with one ear, waiting for you to take that last breath of life. The fact is, death itself isn't so bad or evil. We know from the day we were born that we will die, and it's inevitable. But what's really important, what defines life, are the days in between. There's always a tipping point, a time when something shifts or changes from within, when a person's life goes from being ordinary to being extraordinary. Sometimes it's seismic, the tectonic plates shifting, creating vibrations rippling outward that break your external shell. Other times it's one word, a sentence, or a single interaction that will stick with your soul and eat you from the inside unless your 13-year-old brain quickly adapts to how to process it. My personal shift from normal to seismic was closer to the latter. I had a very average upbringing, living in beautiful homes, parents who love each other, who never divorced, one brother, a good brother, Caucasian, middle-class, suburban lifestyle. There was not a worry in the world. Growing up pretty normal for the 80s, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, the required servings of vegetables when you had to eat them, maybe a Pop-Tart here or there, mom's homemade meatballs, and the occasional Happy Meal. It's what we knew and ate back in those days in North America. That was defined as healthy. I always loved fruit and still do to this day. When I was 4 or 5 during the summers, we'd go to a nearby farm and pick fresh strawberries and blueberries, which we visited the other day actually. They did not have strawberries or blueberries, nor pumpkins. I was never the dainty, nor the doll, nor did I dream of the perfect wedding. I played a lot, creating stories and imagining entire sets, making my poor brother dress up. I would recreate dreams through dress up, drawing with chalk in the driveway, playing house outside in the backyard, rocks with sticks and mud, playing softball and kickball, and in the basement creating schoolrooms, figure skating routines, and board games. I'm going to skip forward a little bit. I tried pleasing everyone, but it was impossible. I felt oftentimes like I was falling or failing in all areas of my life in an attempt to be perfect. I needed to be good in this world, and actually I was achieving pretty much all of this. So life appeared good. However, the exhaustion of trying to be perfect in all areas of my life left me feeling like I was failing. Except life gets tricky when you place all of your self-value in the hands of others and on the approval of others. You want them to value and validate you. In turn, you lose control, and life is anything but in your hands now. Enter Cancer. That seismic shift. A change in the plates happens, and a pattern of thoughts, actions, and emotions that are anything but normal as I had wished begins. My body slowly became disconnected from my mind over the course of the following year, delving deep into an eating disorder, and for the 17 years that succeeded it. I'm 34, almost 35. You can wish me happy birthday on November 29. I started getting into more trouble at school with my parents, feeling stuck, controlled, lonely, unheard, misunderstood, unchallenged at school, and completely lost in my own body. I struggled on and off with an eating disorder, including anorexia, bulimia, and body dysmorphia for the next 18 years. This is something I've come to believe I will struggle with for my entire life. I will always question where my thoughts and actions are coming from when it involves food. Luckily today, I can eat a meal without calculating to the penny how many calories are in it. I'm no longer concerned where the bathroom is and if it is a single stall, or if I have to worry if someone's walking in. I don't plague myself with the out-of-control feeling of knowing when to stop eating or if I've had enough. However, the struggle with food goes beyond the actual food itself. It's mental, it's emotional, and it's about control. Food can be incredibly healing, which I will prove to you later in this book. It can also be abused. Beyond a disease, as we most commonly know it, I'm proposing to define cancer as any factor that causes disease in the body and or your state of mind over a prolonged period of time. You work a stressful job, 70 plus hours a week, feeling the pressure to bring in more money. The never-ending demands of your boss, working weekends, and to top it off, you're missing out on all of the things your friends or family are wishing you were a part of. This is a cancer. You struggle with food, toying with your weight for years, trying every diet out there to get your body the exact weight you're seeking, running the extra miles to burn off last night's dinner, and in the end, you're only gaining weight instead to continue to binge later at night, eating the foods you really wanted to eat during the day. This is a cancer. You struggle with food, struggling with your weight for years, we just read that. You dream of finding the perfect husband, but just can't seem to stick to the perfect boyfriend. Serial dating, sleeping around, or putting yourself in the arms of someone who doesn't make you feel loved or comfortable, or who doesn't respect you as a person. Destroying your own sense of self-worth, esteem, value, and respect, you continue to date, only finding yourself in the same predicament time and time again, just with a different name and phone number. This is a cancer. Starting to see a pattern. Cancer is anything that causes disease or unease in our mind, body, and spiritual state. It's a bad relationship, an overstressing, under-rewarding job, a poor mindset, and an undervalued sense of our self-worth. A false sense of control with food or addictions, or a constant string of diets. Why? Because once we feel that happiness, it will quickly disappear, and we as humans are seeking for the next big feat, carrot, or prize. Even if you work 100 hours, your boss will still be asking for more, and then that guilt sets in for never being around your family. In the end, the goal we're chasing, the one causing all of the stress and disease within our minds, isn't going to bring about a true sense of happiness and achievement. What is required is a positive mind shift and lifestyle habits that will keep us living long, healthy, and free. While this book is titled Living Cancer-Free, it's important to start at the beginning, where life took a turn, and I started to make some of my own life-changing choices. In the end, ended up teaching me some very valuable lessons that I want to share with you. So let's take it back to 1999, my sophomore year at Bennell High School in Connecticut. I'm 14 and old enough to think that I had it all figured out, this thing called life. Let me go into chapter 1. So, That's part of the intro. Thank you. So just wrapping up, because I know it is getting late, and before going longer than needed, leaving you with a couple of the phrases from the Manifesto. So the Live Free Manifesto is a series of 14 different phrases that are values that I have in my life that I've shared to create part of what is the Live Free revolution. And I hope that it begins over time to inspire many and more other people to live a life of living free. So number one, never settle. You go after what you're worth, go after what you want, and don't settle for anything less. Quality over quantity, valuing what you eat, valuing the time that you spend, how you're spending your waking hours and what you're doing, and your energy. And the last one, you have the power to choose any life you desire. Because in the end, it's all about choice and the power of choice. So the third and final, I really wish I had like this set up to a keynote right now, because I did create one, because I got to present it next week. The big C, right? It's known as the big C, meaning cancer, but the big C can also mean choice. So knowing that you have the choice each and every moment and each and every day to make the absolute most of your life, to live free, to live cancer-free, to take that choice. So thank you all for being here. The book will be released on ebook, soft cover, print on demand for any master volumes, but of course I will do my absolute best to get you signed copies, because hello, friends and family. But it'll be end of November, beginning of December. Books are like construction, like I was saying before, so it's like you got a goal date and then shit happens. So that's life. And if I learned anything along this journey, it's go with the flow. But never settle. Thank you all.